Hey, I'm Adam Jusko from ProudMoney.com. In this video, we are looking at the First Access Visa credit card, a card that is targeted toward bad credit customers who are trying to raise their credit scores. But before we talk about it, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not already. And if you have already, I thank you for doing so. So if you have bad credit and you're trying to rebuild your credit and you absolutely want an unsecured credit card, you don't want to have to put a deposit down for a secured credit card, well, the First Access Visa is a choice. It's a bad choice, but it is a choice. This is a card that is going to give you a sad, sorry credit line, force you to pony up a lot of money to get that sad, sorry credit line, and then it is going to hit you with even more fees down the road, as well as an extremely high interest rate if you should ever be unwise enough to carry a balance. So if all of that sounds good, this is the card for you. I'm actually making this video on Halloween, and it is fitting in a way because this is a card that is sort of masquerading as the Total Visa, or maybe the dreaded First Premier credit card. Cards that will give you more tricks than treats, ones that will kick your pumpkins in and egg your house on Halloween night. Now I'm going to break down the First Access card further, but before I do, I should say if you have a bad credit history, it is understandable that the credit cards that are open to you are going to have higher fees and are going to have higher interest rates. The companies that might be willing to deal with you are going to see you as a bigger risk, so they are going to charge more in order to give you credit, and of course they are going to want to make some profit on top of that. I understand all this, and so I try to give these kind of companies a little bit of a break when I talk about them. However, some of them are worse than others. Which brings us back to the First Access Visa card. Now, if we look at the terms and conditions for this card, the first thing that's going to jump out is the fact that the card has an interest rate over 34%. It's one of the highest interest rates that you're going to find on the market anywhere, a tad under the dreaded First Premier card, but otherwise right up there in the very upper tiers. Now, to some extent, this isn't the worst possible thing about the card because you don't have to pay interest if you pay off your balances in full every month, so you can at least avoid that ridiculously high interest rate. Which you can't so easily avoid is the scary fees on this card. Now, if you want to get the First Access Visa, you can apply for the card and they could approve you, but before they'll actually give you the card, they're going to make you pay an $89 program fee. So that's money that's going to come out of your pocket in order to actually get the card in your hand. It's not going to be rolled into the balance on the card or anything like that. You are going to have to pay $89 just to get the card once you're approved. Now, once you are approved, you'll get the card. It'll have about a $300 credit line, but there's a $75 annual fee, and that will be taken out of the credit line and put onto the balance of that card. So you have a $300 credit line, you're going to have a $75 annual fee. You've already paid $89. You now have a $225 credit line, or $225 of available credit. You owe $75. You've paid $89. So you got a little bit over $200 of buying power here with this card, and you've already paid over $160 in order to get it. But wait, there's more. In year 2 and every year afterwards, that annual fee, that $75 annual fee that I just talked about, is going to go down to $48 per year. And so you might think, okay, well, that's better. It's a better annual fee. But all of a sudden, a monthly maintenance fee will kick in, and that is $6.25 a month, or $75 per year. So you've got an annual fee of $48, and now you have a new maintenance fee that is going to cost you $75 a year. So in reality, you're going to pay $123 per year to have this card, again, with a very, very small credit line, especially in relation to how much you have to pay in fees. Like I said, I understand that these companies have to make money and that they're going to charge you a little bit more, but there is a place where it becomes a little excessive. One last injustice here is the fact that when you get to the bottom of the application for the First Access Visa, there's a little box with a message next to it that says if you have given them your email address, and I believe you have to give them your email address, well, then they have the right to email you every single day, and you have also given them the right in other places here within the terms and conditions to call you and text you as well. So not only are they going to charge you a lot, they're going to have all these fees, they're going to charge all that interest, they then are going to market further to you now that they have access to multiple ways to communicate with you every single day. Now, as far as I can tell, the First Access Visa does report to the major credit reporting bureaus. At least I think they do. So this should help you rebuild your credit if you make your payments on time. However, even that is not very well spelled out on their website. So you take a look around and it's not even clear whether they are going to report every month. Most cards like this are going to make that sort of a big part of their marketing message because they want you to feel like you're getting something out of getting the card. This one does not even have much of that language on their website, so I believe they report to the bureaus, but even that is not something that I can guarantee by looking at the information that they provide. Now, this is the part of the video where I make a pitch for secured credit cards. If you're someone that has bad credit, you may think, I don't want to get a secured credit card. I don't want to have to put a deposit down in order to get a credit card. But when you look at something like the First Access Visa, it's going to charge you $89, and then it's going to charge you another $75. You're essentially paying $160+ of money you'll never see again to get a card with a very small credit line. Wouldn't it be better to get a secured credit card that requires a deposit that is refundable, so you will actually get that money back when you no longer need or want the card anymore, than to pay so much for an unsecured card with a very small credit line? In my opinion, that is the way to go. So there are many secured credit cards on the market, and what is even better about so many of them is they come from the major banks, and it's a way for you to get your foot in the door with those banks. Now, if you don't know what a secured credit card is, it is a card that requires a security deposit. In order to get it, you put a security deposit down. You generally get a credit line that is the same as the amount of that security deposit. Once you do that, you can use the credit card just like any other credit card. You make your payments each month. They don't come out of that security deposit. Those come from other money, and then over time, assuming you make your payments on time, this can help you build your credit score. When you no longer need or want that card anymore, you can get that security deposit back, assuming that you have paid off all of the charges that are on the card. So not only is this a nice way to help you build credit because of the fact that it doesn't have as high of fees, doesn't have as high of interest rates, but it also gives you access many times to the bigger banks like Discover, like Bank of America. Capital One has a secured card. Citibank has a secured card. So if you want to get in with a bank that hopefully will, down the road get you a better card that is unsecured, this is often the way to go. Now, some of these banks will tell you that that is sort of the pathway, and they will continue to look at how you are doing and maybe even give you your security deposit back before you even ask for it, or upgrade you to a new card and give you your security deposit back. Some of them, it's more just a stepping stone. But no matter how it works, you're generally going to be in a better place over time with a card like that versus the First Access Visa. Again, if I was making a recommendation on the secured card front, I would probably say the Discover secured card is the first place I would look. Bank of America secured card, probably second. Now, if you're someone who has a terrible credit history and maybe you've burned some of these companies in the past and can't get a secured card from one of the bigger banks, the Open Sky credit card is one that I would perhaps consider. It is not, sort of a card that has a pathway necessarily to a better card, but it is a card that could help you build your credit score, and hopefully you can be approved for an unsecured card down the road. But no matter how you slice it, the secured card way is the way that I would recommend if you have a bad credit history. So that is it. If you have bad credit, unfortunately, none of your options are exactly ideal, but some of them are worse than others, and the First Access Visa falls into the worse than others camp. Definitely a card I would not recommend. If you have any experience with the First Access Visa or other credit cards of its ilk and you want to talk about those in the comments, I would love to hear them. Otherwise, I thank you for watching, and as always, please go to proudmoney.com where we do credit card reviews. We talk personal finance, we talk deals, and all sorts of other fun stuff too. Thanks for watching. Bye.